Hey guys, Happy Splasher here. Good morning. So right now we're going to do another one of those Submit Your Squad videos. This one is sent in from s4655. Thank you very much. We are taking a look and we have the squad right here. We're going to just name them and then we'll go into the individual units later. So we have the Void Jewel, we have the Melia's Forest Daughter, the Apollo, the Blair, the Masora Windbreath, the Groot Silent Guardian, the Kabast Wasteland Lord, and the Charn Soulcatcher. From early look, I do see that we were suggested to use Anna the Abyss Queen. She has this skill here that allows her to heal whenever Mental Shield expires on any side of the field. We have the Mental Shield skill on her for 2 turns, and then also the final skill being whenever one of our heroes attacks, we'll deal extra damage for every enemy hero. There are a couple of heroes over here that do some mental shield, so we'll start off with this one here. This one is the Void Jewel. This Void Jewel will give us some mental shield before the enemy attacks, and will also deal some additional curse damage once an order enemy attacks. On top of that, we have the Apollo, which gives mental shield to 2 of our heroes whenever an enemy appears, and then we'll also get an attack boost, which helps us deal a little bit more damage. Also, when this hero dies, he will reduce the enemy attack by some attack as well, so that'll allow us to stick around longer and then get another turn to get towards that last skill. Next we have Blair over here. She'll give mental shield to our heroes in the row whenever another one appears, and then whenever that mental shield expires, we'll deal damage to the enemies. That'll help us out in terms of clearing out the board and then also keeping ourselves alive for that last turn. Finally, we do have the Charn Soulcatcher. The Charn Soulcatcher here gives us some extra attack runes, which 1, will give us some more abilities to attack, and 2, because they also will trigger that damage skill with the Anna the Abyss Queen, we will be able to deal more damage quicker. On top of that, at the end of the turn, he will transform into a Cenotaph. The Cenotaph has a little bit of block, and will also allow us to get mental shield onto one of our heroes whenever one of the enemies attacks. So that being the case, that will combo with some of the other heroes, Blair getting the extra shield and then dealing damage, Apollo with the extra attack to our heroes, and then also potentially protecting our buildings and so forth. On top of that, we have a couple of other heroes, so let's start with this one here. This one is Melia's Forest Daughter. At the end of the turn, she will poison 2 enemies for some damage. That'll allow us to deal damage to the enemies, and then on top of that, whenever poison does trigger, we'll deal some extra damage to the Warlord. That'll help us deal some damage so that in case we are overwhelmed by other heroes, we'll still be able to deal damage to the Warlord, so that just gives us another out in order to win the battle. As well as that, we have the Masora Windbreath. When she attacks, she will summon a copy to the row, and that copy will also copy the other skills. So a couple of things that could occur. They could copy the mental shield from Apollo, it could copy the mental shield from Blair, and it could also copy the extra attack from the Charn when he attacks. So because of that, we'll be able to get multiple copies of those heroes and be able to trigger those skills multiple times. On top of that, a little bit of Pierce and a little bit of attack boost as well, which is really nice. Also, another way to win the battle without using Mental Shield. And then because of those extra copies, we'll be able to block more effectively for our other heroes. Finally, we have the other 2 melee nature heroes. We have the Groot Silent Guardian. This one will silence enemies in the line, so that will allow us to get rid of some pesky heroes that may be affecting us. The things that come to mind are Ghosta with the damage to our heroes, the Mina Helsing with damage to our Warlord, and Aharon's God's Will. As I thought about it, they're all ranged order heroes. Aharon's God's Will doing the damage to our heroes. Finally, we have the Kabast Wasteland Lord. The Kabast Wasteland Lord will get some block to our Warlord at the end of the turn. That'll allow us to stay alive a little bit longer. And on top of that, he does have this attacked skill, so whenever he's attacked, he will deal damage to 2 random enemies of the attacking enemy. So that will allow us to potentially clear out some strong heroes. We'll get some block on himself as well, so that'll keep him alive, and then allow us to get some more block on our Warlord, so that way we'll be able to deal damage... deal damage, but to stay alive longer to get that final skill. So yeah, so next we're going to hop right into Brawl and do a couple of battles, and we'll see how this goes, see how this feels, and then, yeah, we'll make some tweaks along the way. Or we'll just give some commentary. All right, so we'll head over to Brawl. And, you know what, we should actually... Yeah, we'll deal with the pet too. All right, yeah, let's hop right in. Excuse me. Or we should probably turn off that auto battle mode, even though there is none right now. Okay, let's see. Against this hero with the multiple attacks, Dom the Swarm King, we are going to take advantage of the Kabos. We could actually go with the Groot, but for now we're going to just go with the Kabos, hoping he'll stay alive. And of course he does not, because they have their own Groot over here. That is fine. We'll end up silencing 2 heroes instead with our Groot. Okay, this is what I was concerned about. This Aharon God's Will does have that phantom attack. That is going to be a little bit of a problem. We're going to start, let's see, because the majority of our heroes are going to be destroyed once the Aharon attacks, we're going to go with the Void Jewel here. We get a little bit of curse onto the heroes too, so that's good. So as you can see, we do have the mental shield given from the Void Jewel. We also do have a little bit of curse onto the enemies right now. Still no way to protect. I suppose we could do our mental shield skill, although we are pretty high on health. I guess it'll be fine. We can still stick around for maybe one more turn anyways. So yeah, we'll do that just in case our Void Jewel is destroyed. And in the meantime, we can actually place Apollo over here on D2. As you see here, when the Apollo is destroyed, we give negative attack to the heroes. Will give us a little bit of a way in order to stay alive. Probably could have actually saved that for the next turn, but that's fine. Okay, let's see. This time around, we do have this Villaino Mad Genius. He gives negative attack to our heroes. We currently have none. We're going to go with the Blair on D2 again. As you can see, the curse does end up clearing out the heroes. We do have the setting the range heroes to 5. Looks like our Void Jewel is now gone. And on top of that, they do have these Soul Binders. We are facing a Morgoth right now. We're going to, let's see. We do want to stay alive a little bit longer, so what we're going to do next is go with the, let's see what's going to make sense. Yeah, we could potentially block here. We're going to go with the Kabos Wasteland Lord to give us some block onto our Warlord for a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, we are now on that turn to actually attack with these skills. A couple of heroes can't attack right now. They do have the melee heroes in the way, and they also actually have this Grandma Reaper, which does give an attack boost to their heroes at the end of the turn. You know, I suppose we could potentially wipe them out. Now, let's go with the Masora here on A3 to trigger off that skill. And you can see a little damage. Damage there. Damage there. And a little shy because we did not get the final Masora copy to attack. Ooh, how did they gain life? Oh, they gain life with the Villaino Mad Genius. Okay, so unfortunately we will be taking the loss here just because of the Villaino gaining the health. We don't have another way to attack. I suppose we could have potentially set up with the Charn instead. But this is fine. One lesson learned. Okay. Alright, let's keep hopping into battle. Alright, so we're facing a Jimmy Rocket Boy this time. The Jimmy Rocket Boy has these block runes, which will allow their heroes to stay alive. They do have a lot of order heroes, so we can actually take advantage of that with the Void Jewel right now. And you see those block runes coming up. And as you can see, with the curse happening onto the heroes, we do have a little bit of damage happening at the end of the turn with the Mushus coming from the Tiling Dragon Dance. Let's see. I'm going to go for a little bit of protection, so we'll go with the Blair next. Just to clear out the Tiling. And also give us some protection over to the Void Jewel. Okay, looks like we had some more heroes cleared out. Suppose we can go shield right now, that'll be good. And then we can actually start setting up for the next couple of turns. So let's go next with the Charn here on... Go with the Charn here on E3. We'll get some extra attack runes, which we will need for later. And then also mentioned before one of the enemy's attacks, we'll get Mental Shield onto our allies, but we don't have any on the field, unfortunately. Okay, we'll actually save this Masora for the turn where we do have the skills. Suppose we could just give some negative attack for now. We're still going to have the Mental Shield onto our Warlord for a little bit. Although they do have this Alexandria, which does cleanse the allies at the end of the turn. So that is going to be a problem. Let's see. I guess we can do a little bit of block over here, although... yeah, the Tiling Dragon Dance is still going to be a problem. Let's go with the Kabos here on E3, and hopefully we can use the Reflect damage to clear out some heroes. We ended up clearing out the Tiling Dragon Dance, okay. That works too. All right, we have one more turn to actually get this skill going. Suppose we could just go for that. There. We're going to be taking a lot of damage though, unfortunately. Suppose we could try to block. We'll go with another Apollo here on A3, or A1 rather. Okay, so we do have some Mental Shield. We do have the Jimmy Rocket Boys coming out. Okay, as you can see, we don't have any more heroes on the board. We're going to go with the damage skill now. And then we'll take advantage of this lone extra attack rune, going with the Masora here on A3. And of course we cannot break through because we do have the Angelia the Lightbringer with the Mental Shield given. So that is another loss over there. Not looking too good right now, but we will continue. It always seems to be one of those just niche heroes that come up, and that's fortunately what the Groot is for. We have the Vixen the Stormlord here with some negative attack, attack steal from our frozen heroes. Also taking some additional damage when at the beginning of the turn. I'm gonna look to stop him for now because we can't take that kind of board pressure. Okay, we have the Scrap the King of Garbage here with some extra attack. We're going to go with the Kabos here on A3, looking to have block on our Warlord, and then also that Reflect damage. Okay, some more damage happening to our heroes. The Yorick, the Risen One, came on play, dealt the damage, and then cleared out our heroes. We'll go with the Charn here on A2, just to clear out the Yorick, and then also, again, set up with the extra attack runes. Okay, they came out with the Groot. That is fine. Go with the Amelia here on A1, just to deal some damage over to this Groot. Deal some poison damage as well. Whoa! Okay, at this point we are okay for health, so we don't need to use the Mental Shield skill. I'm going to go actually with the Void Jewel against this Strike the Fiery Heart, because he is an older hero. Okay, we're taking a little bit of damage. That is okay. They still have a silence skill on their ogre. So let's see if we can trigger that. We can also just clear out this hero as well. That's fine. We'll actually clear out both of these heroes because of the curse on the York and then also the low attack on the Strick, or the low health rather. Okay, so at this point, we can activate both our Mental Shield skill and our damage skill. Probably want to do a combination of both. That way we can just continue dealing damage. Then we'll clear out the York with the Arn here on C3. And then also getting some more extra attack runes that we'll need for later. Okay, at this point, another Groot silenced our Void Jewel. We can keep dealing damage with our... No, we can keep dealing damage with our melee here. So you can see every time one of our heroes attacks, we'll deal additional damage because of that final skill that we did. Okay, at this point, we probably are close to lethal on their side. We're going to go with the Masora on A3. Hopefully we'll be able to trigger the final damage. And there we go. Ooh, got some event runes. Nice. All right, yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so let's start off once again. We're going to go with the Charn here on D2 because I do want to be able to get extra attack runes on this third file, so that way we can set up those Masoras. Okay, we have the Alexandra here once again. We're going to go with the go with the Melee next on D1. Deal some damage over to the Warlord, also get some poison damage off on the field. Okay, we won't need our Mental Shield skill quite yet, although we are a little low. Not sure what has poison right now. We're going to go with the Blair here on A2, setting the range health of these heroes to 5. We'll deal some damage, and then we'll have our poison damage at the end to clear out both of these heroes, or at least this hero. Alright, so we did see the damage heal off the Morgoth. We do see some heal, and that is okay. We can actually stop him using the Groot, so let's do that. As you can also see, we have some Mental Shield going on to our heroes in the same file. Probably could have done that on the Groot, but this is fine. Okay, we have our Blair being destroyed by the Morgoth skill. We'll go with the Mental Shield skill now, although it won't really do anything because they only have one enemy to attack with. We can still deal damage over to them, so let's do that. We'll go with the Apollo here on C1, taking advantage of the extra attack rune. We have some poison damage still happening, which is good. We also have the Mental Shields coming out because of the Soul Binders being summoned. And at this point, even though we don't have the damage skill, they don't have any other way to heal, and our Melee will still do poison damage to the Warlord. Actually go with another Melee. And as long as we don't destroy 2 heroes, we should be good here. Or just deal damage that way. Nice. Alright. Ooh, got some common Melee. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, so they're starting first this time. They have the Shaolin over here. When he dies, he deals damage to one of our heroes. We're going to start to set up. We're going to go with the Blair here on B1. Just to deal some damage to the Warlord. And when I say set up, I meant going next with the Masura here on A1, or A3 rather. And although it doesn't show right now, these heroes should... Oh, actually they don't have Metal Shield. Alright, never mind. I was thinking how the old Blair works. So that doesn't really help us that much. This could still work though. Let's go next with the... We're going to go next with the Mental Shield skill, and then we'll also go with the Apollo here on A1. At this point, we will give Mental Shield at least over to these heroes in the same file. Okay, they have done their damage skill. Okay, it looks like our Blair has been silenced, so no more of the damage skill happening. I do want to stop this Vilnomad Genius because, again, if they keep on healing, we won't be able to deal damage. So we'll go next with the Groot here on B2. Okay, they have the Aharon's God's Will with the Phantom Attack and also the negative attack to our heroes. We're going to go with the Void Jewel here on B1. Got some curse on heroes, so that's good. Although now we don't have a Void Jewel anymore in order to protect. And at this point, we are going to be taking lethal because we don't have any protection here. That was a bummer. Alright, yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, I made that misplay on the Blair with the Masaurus, thinking that the Masaurus would have gotten Mental Shield, but they do not. Alright, that is fine. We have the Dragar here with an attack boost for every hero, also an attack boost at the end of the turn. We'll go with the Kabas here on C3, looking to potentially use our reflect damage to clear out this hero. And instead they clear it out with the Groot with Silence, which is okay. We'll go next with the... Thinking what would make sense. I'm gonna go with the Blair here on D1, just for some protection, and then potentially finding a way to clear out the Dragara. Okay, we have the Grace of Rockfleet with some random damage and some attack boost. We'll go with the Mental Shield skill, and then We don't have anything to actually destroy in combat, so we will need to silence it with the Groot here. And as you see, when we summon, we do end up giving the Blair the mental shield. Okay, we did end up clearing out the Blair, or clearing out the Grace, so that's good. We do have another Villaino Mad Genius. Seems to be the common theme around here. We don't have any immediate curse. I suppose we could... We still have Mental Shield on our Warlord, so let's go with the Char next on D2. We wanted to get these extra attack runes. Okay, and as you see, we're also dealing some damage over to the heroes because of that Mental Shield expiring. Let's see, so not quite enough to actually clear this out. We'll go with the... I guess we'll go with the Void Jewel again. So this one won't have Mental Shield. Let's actually give Mental Shield over it here. I think what makes sense. We'll go over here on E1. Just to protect the lanes, in case they do something. I didn't see that curse actually clearing out the Villaino, which is good. But they do have some poison to our heroes because of the Stone Golem / Koba. We're still dealing with the Dragara here. Guess we can go with another Blair, and this time we'll summon it over... we'll summon it over here on C1. Okay, we finally did clear out the Dragara, and we cleared out the Villaino as well. We're going to go with our damage skill, and then we will take advantage of the extra attack rune. So we'll go here on B2. Get some Mental Shield back, deal some extra damage off of every attack. And at this point we have guarded the lanes. You can still see a little silence, but this should be okay. At this point we'll go with the Charn again here on A3. And there we go. As long as that Blair was still alive on the field, at some point we were able to deal the damage necessary to clear out both the Dragara and the Villaino. Probably the Villaino being more of a problem than the Dragara, because at that point any type of damage would have been lethal. Alright, so we are going to start out this time. Go with the... Let's actually go with the Apollo here on A1. Get some Mental Shield over to our heroes. Apparently they've already used their Groot, so we don't have to worry so much about silence anymore. We'll go next with the Blair here on A2 to deal some more damage over to the Warlord. Unbelievable! Okay, unfortunate that our Blair was destroyed. We'll go next with the Kabas here on A3, and we'll either force a silence from the Son of Woods, or we can see that reflect damage clear out some heroes. Okay, next we'll be able to destroy that. That's good. We can actually just deal some straight up damage, but we're gonna keep setting up as usual. So we'll go with the Char next on C2 and get these extra attack runes. Okay, and at this point we do have an open lane for lethal, so we'll just summon on lane D. And there we go. Alright, we got a couple more battles here, so let's keep going. Alright, so a little different this time around. We are facing a Harbinger of Darkness with some random damage, some summons, and attack boost to Chaos allies. As you can see, a lot less health than our Warlord, so we don't have to worry about this battle so much, but we'll still do it anyways. So let's go with the melee here on B1. We'll use our poison damage to clear out these buildings and the hero, and then also deal some poison damage to the Warlord. Okay, at this point we'll go next with the Masora here on A3. Get some extra attackers on the board. Yeah. And then we'll go with the Apollo here on A1 on the open lane. And there we go. Ooh, again, event runes. All right, we got 2 more battles here, so let's keep going. Okay, so we are starting first this time. We're going to start once again with the Charin, and we'll go here on... We want to deal some more damage, because the Morgoth is going to have those soul binders using to block. Okay, we have the Koba Temple Keeper. Has some poison damage to our heroes at the end of the turn. Also, whenever poison does trigger on our side, we'll see some heal to the Warlord. So we will need to get rid of this somehow, which I currently don't have. We'll go with the Kabas here on D3, and hopefully the reflect damage can at least stop him for now. Okay, they are using a Groot and actually stopped our Charin. That is fine. Still relatively good on health, so we don't need to use our mental shield skill yet. We'll go with the Melia on E1, taking advantage of the extra attack rune. And you can see another stone golem, and we'll just poison our heroes at the end of the turn, which is not easy. Okay, let's see. So we have the Aharon's God's Will over here. This hero is poisoned. So I do actually... It's kind of tough because if we silence with the Groot, this hero we won't be able to destroy because we'll just have to destroy in combat. Although we would stop the Aharon. Let's see. You know, we can go with... Yeah, we'll go with the Metal Shield skill, just to be safe. And then also, we'll go with the... Thinking what makes sense. I do want to have continuous curse on the heroes, so what I'm going to do next is go with the Hollow here. Whoa! And you see the negative attack happening, that is fine. Yeah! Oh, but we have no curse, that is important. I messed that up. Alright, so let's go next with the Void Jewel. Oh, I forgot about the soul binders. Oh boy. All right, never mind. We are probably going to be taking lethal fairly shortly. Let's see. We'll go with, let's see. This Aphrodite here deals some damage at the end of the turn equal to the health of a hero, which in this case could potentially be the Koba. Let's see, some curse over here. At this point, I guess we will have to silence it. So let's go with that. Just to stop the phantom attack, which is going to trigger off these soul binders. Oh, that is lethal. Okay. Yeah, I should have put the Void Jewel up first. That is fine. All right, well, we have one more battle. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we are starting first this time around. Let's go with the Melia here on A1. Clearing out the buildings and then dealing some damage to the Warlord. Okay, now what we want to see. We're going to clear this out with the Kabas. Then we'll also get some block onto our Warlord. Okay, also not what we want to see. We'll go next with... I think we're going to be okay. We do have some block over to Warlord. So let's go next with the Charin here on E2 to get some extra attack runes. Okay, we did force a silence, so that's good. Okay, we're taking a little bit of damage, and that's okay. We have the Aharon's God's Will, also again. We'll go with the Mental Shield skill, and then we'll also go with the Void Jewel here on D1 with some protection. With the card. Okay, that was a weird placement. This Vanikori is a building and it stops this melee hero from attacking. That's kind of weird. All right, that's fine. We'll go next with the Blair on the A2. I want to set up with the Apollo for the next couple of turns, and we need the Blair to actually come out first so we can take advantage of the Mental Shield skills. Okay, we have the Yoster the Dawn Glow. This hero will silence our male heroes when she dies, so they'll actually conflict with the Apollo. Suppose we can go with... Yeah, we could still actually try to trigger this off. We'll go with the Apollo next on C2. And you can see our male heroes are silenced, but that is okay. I did just want to get the Metal Shield on the Blair. Okay, so we will activate our damage skill. And then we'll also go with the, do we have to do this? Clear this out. Yeah, this will actually be fine. We'll go with the mental shield summoned by the Masura. We have some mental shield over here to our heroes.
Yeah.
Okay, and at this point, let's go get some more extra attack runes. We'll use the Charn on the 2. As you see, we're not dealing additional damage because they have no heroes on their side of the field, but that is okay. Take advantage of our extra attack runes and our multiple heroes to attack. And there we go. Oh, okay. I got some rare Vixen. Not bad. All right, so yeah, let's head back to the squad and then just do a little review of things going on. So as you saw, a lot of the plays involved us kind of standing back, using our defenses, and then eventually attacking. The Kabos is a good hero to have because of the high defense and then also that reflect damage. The Charn is also good too, comboing with the Blair for the mental shield and then also getting the extra attack runes. Probably a hero that I didn't use as much as I thought I would was the Apollo. Having the setup with the mental shield is going to be good, but it didn't seem, at least, that his negative attack was going to be so much of an issue for the enemies. Also, these attack boosts happened, they weren't really as important. I felt that a lot more of... we didn't really protect our board. A lot of the times we only had perhaps 1 or 2 heroes on the board, unless for somehow we just ran into weaker heroes. So I'd probably want to take out the Apollo and probably put in something else. What would make a little more sense? Just looking around, seeing what would probably fit into the ranged slot. So we'll just filter for that. Probably, let's see. So potential things that could fit into the range slot, we do have the Arachne here with the mental shield that would actually combo at least with the Blair, and then also the healing skill with the End of the Abyss Queen. We have the Harness God's Will, which could trigger off some extra attacks because the phantom attacks do count as a attack, so that would work for the damage skill. Vono Magius is also a good one as well, just to allow us to heal and also give a health boost to our heroes so that we can stick around longer. Yoster's always a good one too, with the silence of the male heroes. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of targets available in order to swap out for the Apollo. You could even do something like, what would make sense? Tengu would also be good, stopping the enemies from attacking for at least for a turn. Alexandria here with the silence and also the healing off of the life palace. Every other hero, Groot is useful every once in a while, again, just to stop those pesky heroes. We did use the Charn a lot in order to try and set up. The Masura was pretty good, although we just need some more copy skills in order to take advantage of that. So I guess that's what the Apollo was for, but even then, the synergy here wasn't as good. The Masura does work, but you need specifically Charn and then a lot of mental shield and then other stuff going on. Because the Malia does work too, dealing a little bit more damage over to the Warlord because of the skills. Though, in terms of clearing out heroes, could use something like Strick to give an attack boost and also deal some additional damage to the heroes on the board. We do have the Hoodoo here with some healing skill and also the Totem that allows us to reflect damage, so that would be good. Even the York here comes out in play, dealing damage to heroes in the line, allows us to get rid of some immediate threats. Or even doing something like, let's see, maybe even Floss with the extra summons, and then also that will trigger off the damage, and then the poison will also deal damage to the field. So yeah, so there are many ways to go about this if you want to focus on clearing out heroes or keeping your board alive. It really depends upon how you want to lean into that for the squad. So yeah, so like you said, thank you again, s4655, for submitting the squad. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. This is Happy Splasher, signing off.